Have you ever wondered why, lately, you prefer staying home alone rather than going out? Why the gatherings that once made you happy now leave you exhausted? Why you no longer find any interest in crowds, parties, small talk, or bland relationships? It sounds like you are gradually drifting away from the world. But what if I told you that this is not a sign you are falling behind, but a sign that you are being guided by the heavens into a phase of diving deep to rise high? You may not realize it, but the feeling of not wanting to go anywhere, not wanting to meet anyone, is not psychological negativity. It may be a message from the universe. It means you need to return home, return to yourself, return to the deepest part inside that life has made you forget for so long. Why does heaven want a person to be alone? Why is it that the more we mature, the less we speak, the less we need anyone, and the more peaceful we feel in silence? And if I told you one thing that might make you shudder, when heaven prepares to change a person's destiny, he always puts them into a phase of solitude first. This video will decode the reason why, and if you are experiencing that feeling, then perhaps you are not lost at all, but are on the right path more than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing in today's video is not just explaining why you like staying home alone. It is about why the universe wants that to happen. If lately you feel you no longer fit in with boisterous laughter, all-night parties, stories without depth, or half-hearted relationships, then perhaps you are not changing for the worse, but changing towards the light. Because in spirituality, there is a very beautiful truth that not everyone has the destiny to experience. When a soul with spiritual roots enters a state of maturity, life does not push them into the crowd. Life places them into silence. Those with spiritual roots in this lifetime do not learn amidst noise, but learn amidst stillness. They do not cultivate by walking fast, but by standing still deeply. They do not grow by fighting with others, but grow by observing themselves. Therefore, if you suddenly want to live slower, if you feel your mind is more peaceful when alone, if your intuition tells you that you need quiet, then that is not a sign you are falling behind in life, but a sign that your spiritual roots are awakening. The soul has begun to remember what the body once forgot, that you did not come to this world to please everyone. You came to see yourself. So before heaven grants the opportunity, grants the right person, grants the right environment, grants the right destiny, he always does one thing first. He takes you through a period of silence so that you no longer live by the applause of the world, but begin to live by the reminders of the soul. So if you are alone, do not be afraid. If you are living inwardly, do not doubt yourself, because you are not abandoning life. You are just abandoning the old version to prepare to step into a brighter version. And maybe, just maybe, this is the lifetime where you must cultivate through stillness, not through commotion. Perhaps you have realized this, but dared not say it, for fear that others would call you strange. It is not that you want to separate from society. It is that you can no longer endure the noise outside when the inside of you is screaming for peace. Those around you are still happy, still talking and laughing, still gathering. But inside you, there is a very clear whisper. I don't belong in those places anymore. In the past, you used to think you needed someone to fill the void. Now you think differently. Only when alone do I not lose myself. In the past, you were afraid of staying home alone. Now, staying home is not loneliness, but safety. In the past, you always tried to harmonize with everyone. Now you only want to harmonize with yourself. Sometimes you feel conflicted. A part of you wants to be loved, but a part wants peace, and the soul chooses peace. A part wants to connect, but a part knows that if you connect with the wrong person, you will be hurt again. It is not that you have become colder, but that you are more mature. It is not that you are silent because you have run out of things to say, but because you no longer want to speak meaningless things. It is not that you are rejecting others, but that you are filtering the energy that enters your life. There are nights you sit looking up at the ceiling, not playing music, not holding your phone, just sitting there and feeling that your life is about to turn a new corner, even though you don't know what it is. This feeling is very special, not happy, not sad, but deep, not excited, not depressed, but still, not directed outward, but directed inward, not expecting, but ready. That is the transitional state of a soul shifting energy levels. When a person begins to like staying home alone, it is not weakness or closing oneself off from the world. It is a signal from the universe indicating that the soul is entering a phase of transformation. In the mystical realm, people with high frequency are always sensitive to surrounding energies. They easily get overloaded when exposed to chaotic environments. Therefore, the mind automatically leads them back to the inner space to preserve their Cha energy, nourish their spirit, and protect their frequency. Being alone becomes an instinctive need of the soul, not a choice of the intellect. In Buddhism, this is the stage of inner retreat. It is not leaving life, but leaving things that scatter the mind. When the spiritual foundation is preparing to grow, a person will unconsciously reduce social connections, speak less, argue less, and seek less validation, because intuition is bringing them inward to gather energy, gather the mind, and gather clarity. It is in that silence that wisdom begins to rise from the depths. In frequency resonance, humans connect with each other according to energy levels. When your frequency changes, relationships that are no longer synchronized will naturally depart. It is not that anyone is abandoning you, but that you and they are no longer on the same wavelength, and intuition itself will lead you to withdraw so as not to cling to things that have completed their lessons. The instinct of the soul knows clearly that if you do not leave the old level, you cannot step to the new one. Modern psychology also proves that when a person enters a phase of restructuring beliefs, the nervous system will prioritize stillness, quiet, and isolation to heal. Humans will naturally want to be home, want to be alone, want to reflect, not because of negativity, but because they are recovering their inner strength and rebuilding their identity. When the old ego is falling and your new version is preparing to form, you will no longer want no's. You only want what is real. Existential philosophy calls this return to the essence, when humans stop running after the outside world and turn back to ask themselves deep questions. Solitude is no longer a fear, but an environment for the soul to mature. And you realize, being next to the wrong person, you feel tired. Being alone in peace, you feel revived. And the most subtle part of this section, many people do not know that it is intuition itself that has led them home. Sitting at a cafe, but feeling tired for no reason, meeting friends, but the mind wants to withdraw, enmeshed in society, but the soul wants to mute the sound That is not a coincidence. That is the premonition of the soul protecting you against agents that derail your destiny. When the universe prepares to take you into a new stage, a new environment, new people, a new job, a new mission, he always leads you through a period of hiding to change destiny, hiding to change frequency, hiding to renew yourself before stepping out with greater power. So, people who like staying home alone are not losing anything at all. They are being returned peace, original energy, bright intuition, independent will, and their true destiny. Outside, the world may think they are losing, but in the energy realm, they are preparing to win silently. There is a very special moment in everyone's journey that not everyone realizes. That is when the soul begins to remember itself, not remembering the past, not remembering memories, but remembering who it was before becoming the person society required. When we were young, we lived very close to our essence. Happy then laugh, sad then cry, tired then rest, lonely then embrace ourselves. But the older we get, the more we are taught that we must be this way, must be that way, must be strong, must be sociable, must be talented, must meet others' expectations. Bit by bit, we move away from our essence to become a version easily accepted in the eyes of the world. Then at some point, after the collisions, the hurts, the disappointments, the incomplete relationships, the times trying to force a smile, the soul can no longer bear it. It starts knocking on the door. It calls very softly, but very persistently. It doesn't call with words, but calls with feelings. Suddenly feeling tired of fun gatherings that are no longer suitable. Suddenly feeling lost in places that used to make you excited. Suddenly feeling like you are no longer like you were before. Suddenly just wanting quiet, wanting slow, wanting real, wanting to be alone. That is not an erratic change of personality. That is when the soul is remembering itself. You begin to realize you no longer like wearing a mask. Do not want to try to appear happy when your heart is exhausted. Do not want to tense up to become someone just to please everyone. Do not want to participate in dialogues where after returning home, your heart is empty. The soul at this moment is like a child standing in the corner of the room, looking at you and whispering, "I'm tired. I don't want to act anymore. I just want to be myself." And when that call is loud enough, you will find yourself changing a lot without trying. You treasure every moment of silence more. You value truth more than compliments. You choose to stay home instead of forcing yourself to go to places that no longer fit. You choose silence instead of trying to prove you are right. You think you are gradually losing the old version, but actually you are returning to the most original version. The soul begins to remember that it did not come here to chase standards, but to experience, learn, mature, and return. It remembers that peace is more important than noise. Truth is more important than beauty. Depth is much more important. It remembers that it doesn't need everyone to understand it. It just needs not to betray itself. And when the soul remembers who it is, it will not allow you to continue staying in places that make you smaller, not allow you to hold on to relationships that drain you, not allow you to live contrary to intuition and the truth in your heart. At that time, the fact that you like staying home alone, like listening to a piece of soft music, like sitting quietly by the window, like talking to yourself rather than trying to please the world, is not an abnormal sign, but a very sacred sign, because only when the soul is awake enough does it dare to pull you out of the crowd. Only when the soul remembers enough does it dare to lead you back. Return where? Return to yourself, before life teaches you how to forget yourself. So if lately you see yourself different, see yourself no longer fitting with many things as before, see yourself quieter, deeper, then don't rush to blame yourself. Don't rush to fix yourself to be like the old days. Try asking gently one question: is my soul beginning to remember itself? And if the answer in your heart is yes, then congratulations, because who knows, this phase of being alone might be the gateway to a very different life. A life where you no longer have to lose yourself to keep anyone. And here, perhaps you have begun to realize one thing you had never thought of before. Turns out you are not left behind. You are being taken out of things that no longer belong to you. Turns out silence is not the end. Silence is the door for souls about to be lifted up. You do not distance yourself from people because of disappointment, but because you are mature enough to understand that not everyone walks with you to the end of the road. You no longer need to be loved by the attention of others, because you have begun to love yourself by the peace inside. You do not disappear from the world. You just step out of the version of yourself that once lived by hurt, by lack, by the fear of being left behind. Maybe for a long time you kept running after gazes, running after recognition, running after love, running after the feeling of being needed. But now you have stopped, not because you are tired, but because you have found where you belong, inside yourself. Humans only truly mature, and at some point they understand that it is not that they need the world, but the world needs their brightest version. And for that version to appear, you must be silent before being bright. So if today you are alone, please do not see it as sadness. Do not force yourself to be like others. Do not think you have a problem. Do not think you are abnormal. Maybe you are not lonely at all. You are just in the right place that the soul needs. And when the transformation process is complete, you will see this very clearly. The deserving people will find you themselves. The suitable doors will open themselves. The right opportunities will drift toward you themselves. Because when you have found yourself, the universe will find you. Thus, if this is truly the phase where heaven is taking you back inside, then do not just pass through it silently. Use this very phase to transform yourself. Being alone is not an empty space to be swallowed by time. It is the shaping interval of the soul, and you can utilize it by living a little slower, a little softer, a little gentler with yourself. During this time, let the body breathe. Sleep when tired, eat when hungry, walk when the mind is not at peace. Do not force yourself to be strong all the time. Sometimes just letting the body rest, the mind already recovers on its own. A calm body is the foundation for a stable inner self. If you feel like going out to breathe fresh air, go. If you want to lie still listening to music, lie down. If you want to cook a decent meal for yourself, do it. The smallest things are where energy is nurtured the most. And then, when the body is less tense, return to the mind. Sit still for a few minutes every day, just a few minutes to look back at yourself. No need to try to meditate with correct technique. Just let the mind sit down. If there are many thoughts in your head, look at them gently, and no need to think further about them. Do not hold, do not resist, do not judge. You can write down what makes your heart heavy, because writing is also a form of energy release. When the mind stops being noisy, the soul begins to speak. Then at some point, the intuition within you will be stronger than logic. There will be people whom you just meet and feel tired. There will be places where stepping and makes your mind sink. There will be conversations that no matter how polite you also feel are not for you. And there will also be people, even if they speak little, meet little, but just sitting next to them feels peaceful. From now on, let intuition lead the way. Whom to meet, whom to attach to, what to keep, what to let go. Let the soul decide. What is meant for you will make you light. What is not meant for you will make you heavy. When you treat the body kindly, are gentle with the mind, and honest with the soul, a very beautiful thing will happen. You no longer fear loneliness, no longer fear losing anyone, no longer fear not being recognized, because you know you already have yourself. And at that moment, your energy position immediately changes. Life no longer treats you like a person who is lacking, but like a person who is sufficient. Every night before sleeping, just place your hand on your chest and whisper, I am returning to the brighter version of myself. No need to try to believe, just repeat. Then there will be a day that saying is no longer a reminder, but becomes the truth. And in the end, if there is one thing I hope you carry with you after this video, it is not the fear of being different, but gratitude because you are mature enough to choose peace, because not everyone has enough courage to stop when the whole world keeps pushing them to run. Not everyone is sane enough to return inside when society always encourages looking outside. There are journeys that need to be traveled with others, but there are also journeys that can only be traveled alone, not because others are unimportant, but because there are segments of the road. If you do not walk alone, you will never find yourself, and then there will be a day you look back at this peaceful period of life and smile, because understanding that it was when heaven gathered you back to prepare for a more brilliant stage. No one sublimates in noise, all brightness blooms in silence. So if today you are just alone, please know that you are not losing anyone. You are keeping the most precious thing, your essence. Later, when you step out into the world with a steady mind, bright intellect, full energy, you will realize a truth very light but very deep. Being alone did not make you smaller, it made you grow up. Dear ladies and gentlemen, if today's content touched you at some point, even for just a moment, I very much appreciate that, not because of interaction numbers, but because it shows that on the journey of awakening, you are not alone. If you are in the quiet stage of life, if you are learning to love peace more than noise, then before leaving the video, please leave a message for yourself with this sentence. I am ready to become a brighter version of myself. That sentence is like an appointment with your new life. And who knows, when you return here sometime later, you will see you have truly changed. If you feel this video has value, please press like, share the video further, and remember to subscribe to the channel to not miss spiritual philosophical contents, energy transformation like this. Thank you for being present today, for opening your heart to listen, and thank you for choosing peace in a world that is always noisy. I pray for you, wherever you go, never lose yourself. Hello, and see you in the next video.